If you're selling to other business owners and you need 20 sales calls booked in this month, today, this is exactly what I'm going to be walking you through step by step. I've booked thousands of meetings for myself and my clients with people in multiple different industries, and the same process works time and time again. So with that being said, let's get into it. Now, it really does not have to be overcomplicated, and a lot of people just get stuck with the procrastination phase in terms of running a B2B lead generation campaign. But if you need 20 sales calls this month, this is how I would approach it. And the first thing is actually providing as much value up front as possible to the person on the receiving end, so it is impossible for them to say no. So I'm going to be walking you through how you can go and do that. And essentially, you've got 4 lead generation methods in terms of marketing, which you can go and do today to go and get you leads. You've got warm outreach, so people who know you, these are people in your contacts. You've got cold outreach, which is what I'm going to be walking you through step by step on how to actually go and do this today. You've got paid ads, and then you've got free content. So which one should you use? I'm just going to walk you through the pros and cons. So paid ads, if you've got the cash and you've got the skill, or you can pay someone to actually go and run your paid ad campaigns, then go and do that. It works fast, it scales, it's very good. Should you create content and should you post free content? Well, if you've got the time to go and build an audience and you're an expert in your field, it's really good for inbound leads. But what I'm going to be walking you through is doing cold and warm outreach. So if you need leads now, the beauty of this is it's cost effective and you can get direct feedback and you can change things and launch new things almost straight away. So I'm going to be walking you through what you can do today. So going back to the value point, so how much value can you give up front to make sure people can actually make that jump to go and have a sales call with you? So how do we do this without actually offering crazy guarantees, which is what everyone has been telling you to do over the past couple of years, offering some sort of deliverable within a certain amount of time frame, or you get your money back, or you get a complete refund, or whatever it may be. How can we do this without offering a guarantee and without just sending out more volume, which is what a lot of people do. A lot of people tell you to do is just send out way more volume. This does work. This will actually get you meetings, but I'm going to be walking you through how you can do this without just sending out more volume and without actually using a lot of these AI personalization strategies and tools where people are saying, you just need to have one AI personalized line and that's going to solve all your problems. And you just use a data enrichment tool like Clay to go and pull some, stock standard information from someone's website, which probably isn't even relevant to the people who you're reaching out to. Without all of that, how do you actually go and get sales calls booked in? So this is what I go through with my clients and the people who I coach with lead generation to make sure that they're standing out from the crowd. So essentially what we walk them through is actually delivering value up front. And we do this by sharing assets with them, sending Loom videos or giving them competitor insights and other insights to go and help them to give them value. And we tie all of those directly into their pain or a massive opportunity that you can go and help them with, because you need to be able to come across that you're the expert, that you can give value. So what we want to do, everyone is going this way. Everyone's using guarantees from the gurus telling you to go and do this online, which used to work a couple of years ago. What I'm going to be walking you through is how can you do this without actually following the crowd. And this is what I walk people through on a daily basis. So the main thing you need to do to make sure you're getting those 20 sales calls is building trust with prospects rather than promising the moon, because there's a lot of gurus and there's a lot of noise right now basically still saying you just need to offer a guarantee and then that will solve all your problems, or you just need to have an AI personalized line. And the reason why that is starting to not work right now, it used to crush a couple of years ago when I was doing lead generation campaigns for myself and other businesses. We would just offer somewhat of a guarantee because everyone's, back then, Alex Hormozy's $100 million offers book, not many people had read it and seen it and implemented it. But now everyone is doing the same thing, which is why we're in a trust recession right now. So nobody believes anything that you are saying. Even if you're legit and you've got a great service and you can actually offer, a really good sort of guarantee, the reason why that may not be working for you right now is because we're in a trust recession. So you're reaching out to people, if it's a paid ad campaign or you're doing cold outreach or warm outreach, you're reaching out to people and they've got their barrier up before you've even began. So how can we actually build trust? Well, we do this by providing value up front and not some shitty lead magnet that's just a PDF that you've knocked up with AI in about 30 seconds. I'm talking about building real value, which builds trust before the call to make sure that your offer and your service and your solution is not a commodity. So the reason why we do that is because it's a race to the bottom. If you're a guarantee will work, right? So you can go and launch a cold outreach campaign tomorrow and just offer a somewhat of a simple guarantee. But essentially, all those people that are engaging with you, they've probably clicked on like 10 other people's ads, or they've replied to 10 other people's emails or Instagram messages or LinkedIn messages, with people offering the same guarantee. So it is essentially a race to the bottom in terms of price. We do not want that to happen. So just going back in terms of practicality, I just keep things super simple. So literally pick one main channel, whether it's email, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, cold calls, whatever it may be. I would just pick one main channel, don't dabble in all of them, and then pick one main channel to follow up with. And how do you choose those channels? Well, it's as simple as finding the channel where your ideal clients hang out on. If they're a tech founder, use Twitter. If they are a real estate agent, you might want to use LinkedIn or email. If they're a business coach, use Instagram. You've just got to think about where exactly your clients hang out and then go and reach out to them from those two different channels. Don't overcomplicate it. That is what I get people to do. So successful outreach, the only thing we need to do is actually turn cold outreach and warm outreach, because you may know people in your ecosystem already, but predominantly most of you are going to do cold outreach. People who do not know you, we need to turn them into warm prospects. So I'm going to be walking you through some examples of how you can go and do that. So an example to prove that you do not need to offer a guarantee or use an AI personalized line to go and get responses and actually sign clients. This example is one of my clients. They're based in the UK and they have a SaaS business. And essentially what they do is they sell sales intelligence. And basically we reached out to some of these large multi-million-dollar multinational organizations here. And they'd never seen us before. And basically we were tasked to go and try and get them a demo booked in. And what we ended up doing is we ran a very simple campaign, booked 7 meetings, and 4 of these clubs actually signed as a client. So some of the largest multi-million-dollar organizations and very tough people to actually get a hold of. So how did we actually go and do that without offering a guarantee and all that bullshit? So essentially, the target was professional sports clubs and they wanted to go into a new market, so outside of the UK. So the challenge was non-English speaking, and there was literally no awareness. And also, sales intelligence is generally quite commoditized. There's a lot of people doing sales intelligence, but they obviously have a unique selling point and an ICP. So that problem was solved to begin with, but that was the challenge. And the pain for these guys is they are incredibly busy. It is very, very tough. If you've ever done a lead gen campaign targeting multi-million-dollar organizations, these guys are very difficult to get hold of. There's everyone trying to reach out to these guys. So we needed to basically keep it very simple for them to actually go and respond and give as much value as we could up front. So essentially, our solution was, we basically said, you've missed out on a very big opportunity by not using our sales intelligence, because one of these clubs had done one of the largest sponsorship deals in the league at the time. And we actually identified that 12 months ago. Anyway, you don't really care about all the ins and outs, but we've essentially said, you've missed out on a massive opportunity. We can go and help you find the next big one. So instead of me saying, hey, do you want a free trial of our sales intelligence? Here's 2 weeks, do you want to actually go and trial the platform? It was, we can help you spot a massive opportunity which you've already just missed out on. So there was a bit of sort of FOMO. There's a lot of curiosity there. And we reached out and said, look, you can have a free trial for 2 weeks to go and help you find the next big opportunity. So we used sniper targeting there because we knew exactly the job title. We know what kept them up at night. We were speaking their lingo. We had enough authority in the emails that we sent out to these people to actually go and get them on a call. We had case studies that we would follow up with. But most importantly, we're basically saying we can go and help you we can go and help you generate more money, because we're going to help you go and find the next big sponsorship deal. So basically, we would help them go and find new kit sponsorship deals. So essentially, that was the message. And all we did was we basically said, come and have a demo with us. If you like it, you can have a 2-week free trial. 7 meetings booked, 4 clubs were signed as a client. So all we were doing there was basically turning someone from a cold prospect. They had no idea who we were, and we were warming them up to make sure that they actually trusted us. And they thought, okay, well, these guys know exactly what they're doing. They're speaking my lingo. They're telling me they can make me more money, and they're offering some value up front, which was the free trial. So it's as simple as that. We just need to turn cold people into warm prospects. We're not trying to sell them. We're just trying to warm them up. So that's essentially what you would be doing no matter what shape, size your business is in. And another example that I've just come up with, so if you're an AI and automation agency, I've seen a lot of people struggling with their lead generation because essentially they're reaching out to businesses and they don't really know what AI and automation does. So if you're in a business right now and it is quite a bit of a struggle to actually explain exactly what you do and how you can actually help people, and you can't articulate this, I'm going to run you through this. This is just one idea I came up with in about 5 minutes. So let's say you're an AI agency, and your ICP is someone like me who runs a lead generation agency. So what you would do, you need to find some sort of trigger in terms of, okay, can I actually help Ben? Or can I actually help this lead generation agency? So let's say the trigger is I'm running paid ads, which actually takes a lot of time, because if I'm running paid ads, I've got to take a shitload of sales calls and I do not have enough time to actually prep before those calls. And let's say I've got 5 meetings one day, I've got to prep for 20 to 30 minutes before each and every single one of those calls to make sure I know exactly what's going on with that business and blah, 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 blah. So essentially, let's say I'm taking about 2.5 hours out of my day to go manually research. So that is a massive problem for a lot of people. So the solution could be you use AI and automation to actually go and help me prep for the call. Now, I don't give a shit about what you use in terms of AI and automation. It doesn't matter. The solution is that you can help me go and prep for the call, which is going to help me get a higher close rate and ultimately save about 2.5-3 hours of my time on a daily basis. So you're going to lead with that value and say, hey, I can actually help you save 2 to 3 hours on a daily basis. Not only is this going to help you with your close rate, you're actually going to buy some of your time back, and then you're going to show some proof. So in terms of value here, so maybe you've not got a free trial, but all you would do is show me an example of who you've done this for before, or you would basically show a demo in terms of, hey, I've already built something like this. This is exactly how it would work. Estimated it's going to save you 2 to 3 hours of your time, and you're probably going to make more money because you're going to be pre-prepped before all of the calls that you take. And all you would do to actually get me on that call is have a quick call to action, which could be, book a call, or it could be let me send a video over and I'll explain exactly how this could work for you without you having to book a call, whatever you want to do. So just tying that back in, all you're doing is, instead of you saying to me, so you're reaching out as a cold prospect and you're basically saying, I've got AI systems and solutions. Would you be interested in seeing how this could work for you? I'm pretty sure I could save you some time. It's like, no, I found a very, very specific problem, and you're leading with value to try and get me in as a warm prospect so I actually trust you. And the value is, I will show you this, or I've already built this, or I've done this for 5 other people. Do you want me to show you how this could exactly work for you and your business? So going from cold to warm. So that's just an example. And going back to the point of this video is explaining how you can get 20 sales calls this month. This is exactly what I do with my one-on-one consulting clients. So I go in and basically help them lay the groundwork in terms of making sure that you can go and build a very simple outbound system to go and get you consistent meetings without fluke every single month. So at the start, all we do is actually build clarity. So understand exactly who you're reaching out to. And believe me, a lot of people, even very established business owners, struggle with this. They're sort of all over the place in terms of who they should go and target. And then we go and create a very simple offer, which is a solution-based offer that is tied to their problems or a massive opportunity that you can go and help them with. So I'm not just talking about a one-line sort of guaranteed offer or something like that. This is a very specific solution to go and help someone with a problem or an opportunity. And then we just create a very, very simple outbound system. And then you go and execute on that. Obviously, this is easier said than done, but this is the main juice of everything. But most importantly, tying this back into this video, is I make sure that all of my clients can actually build trust and value with prospects to turn them from cold to warm before they've had a sales call. So then making a conversion and doing a conversion, actually selling someone and turning them into real revenue, becomes a lot easier. So that's what I walk people through. But what you can do in the next 30 days is essentially, like I was saying, build your clarity engine. So make sure you've got a good ICP and an offer. And then how would you actually go and do this? So you would just basically use a very simple tool like LinkedIn Sales Nav or Apollo. I've done other videos on how you can go and build lead lists here. But essentially what I would do is find a hit 100 list. So 100 of your dream clients. So you're not having to do like hundreds of thousands of volume and sending loads of emails. You've already got your channel where you're reaching out to people. You've already got your follow-up channel. Now go and create your hit 100 list. And then you would basically build your outbound engine around that. So you've got your two channels. So I've just put LinkedIn and email and Loom here. You could do whatever you want. You don't even have to do Loom videos, as long as you've got a mechanism to deliver value up front. You would then basically make sure that you're tracking everything. So you're reaching out to as many people as possible within reason. With your hit 100, and then you're following up with those people on a daily cadence, and then most importantly, you're tracking everything, right? You've got to make sure you're tracking everything so you can improve and refine things as you go on. And then making sure that you've got some sort of conversion engine. So you need to have a booking engine to actually go and take bookings. You need to make sure that you've got a follow-up system to make sure people show up to the call, blah, 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 all of that stuff. So, as long as you're tracking everything and you've got a conversion engine to get people booked in, then you can go and have the sales calls. So tying that back in all together, so you just pick your channel and your follow-up channel, and then you just need you're going to get a feedback loop. So when people actually respond to you, they may say like, what on earth are you on about? Or yes, this sounds good. So if people are saying, yes, this sounds good, then you would want to double down on that strategy in terms of the messaging and what value you gave. Did you give a specific sort of video or a lead magnet or whatever it may be? Double down on that. And if it's not working, then definitely just go and change exactly what you're saying. And there's no golden script that is going to save you. And there's no golden scripts, in my experience anyway. I've tested multiple different versions of scripts and people telling me to do certain things. There's no golden bullet. I hate to say it, but there isn't. So you just need to get some feedback from prospects and just take action and actually reach out to people, rather than sort of twiddling your thumbs and, thinking, what's this person going to say if I say this? Just do it. Just do it and see what happens. And then you'll get a good feedback loop. And then most importantly, just make sure you've got something that you can actually build trust with. So really work on that mechanism where, are you going to be sending Loom videos out? Are you going to be doing a competitor insight with someone? So you're basically identifying an opportunity like, hey, your competitor's doing this. I can pretty much help you do the exact same thing, and they're crushing it right now. So, I can go and help you with this. Or, hey, I've noticed that you've actually got something wrong with your business right now, or if you're doing SEO, like your website, I would be recommending that you do this. There's so many different ways that you can go through this. If you want me to do a video on creating value, I can go and do that. So tying that back all in together, if you're doing cold outreach, the only thing that I would recommend you do is to make sure that you're getting attention. So you're actually actioning and you're doing the outreach, and then you're turning those prospects into people who trust you. And believe me, when they trust you before they've actually had a sales call, the law of reciprocity, if you've given value up front, they are way more inclined to actually have a further conversation with you, and you've got a much higher chance of actually converting that prospect. And if you do want some one-on-one support with a bulletproof plan to actually just go and follow, implement, and execute on with me one-on-one, then click the link in the description and you will be able to find out some more information and then get in touch with me. I will see you on the next one. Peace.